Good afternoon. Welcome back to New News Topics. Before we get into it, I'd like to thank everybody for all the likes. Thanks for all the comments. Thank you to all the new subscribers. Thank you for everyone's support. It's really helping me. It's very therapeutic that I get this story out. So please continue to subscribe to my channel to get further updates on the story. I should drop a story maybe once a week, guys. So if you subscribe, you'll be able to see those stories as they come. Before we get into where I left off last, I'd like to say that this story is not just about the boy sucking lollipops, because I know people are probably thinking, well, no, I know changing up the narrative some. No, I didn't really change the narrative up, guys. It's really about how a person can be so in love with someone they can get blindsided into a situation that you once thought was ideal. It only bothers me now is to how you sit back and you replay how you was really being played the whole time, thinking that you rocking with this person so tough and you taking in all their secrets and you loving this person for them. In the meantime, they not loving you for what you giving back. And I feel like this story not only helps me get past it, but it can help men and women all around the world. Because it's a shame how people do you, you know. But let's get into it. So Miami. That's one vacation I'll never forget. It's one vacation I will never forget. So let's go back a tad. The week prior to June 3rd. Okay. Week prior to June 3rd, he comes up with an idea. He's like, babe, I feel like we should take a trip to the ATL, Atlanta, College Park. You know, like that. You know, we've kind of been having our issues already prior to this trip, but you know, it's like, okay, it'll be a nice getaway from everything, try to get my mind off everything that's been going on, so I'm with it. And I'm like, okay, we can just drive my car because I had the best car. And he was like, okay. And he was like, I'm gonna bring my partner. And then I was like, yeah, I'm gonna see if my cousin wanna come. As I stated before in the other video, my cousin, aka his twin. So we had been discussing it all that week up until June the 3rd. So we were supposed to leave June 3rd at 3 a.m. in the morning, which was like a Thursday, I believe. And we had talked about it, you know, June 2nd, obviously preparing that we was gonna leave at 3 o'clock in the morning to go to Atlanta. So the day before, you know, and the day of, me and my cousin, we trying to get our shit right, cause we going to College Park. So who's ready to go? We getting these kids situated. You know, she's getting hers situated, and we paying for babysitters. Well, I really didn't, but you know, she did obviously. And we getting, you know, wigs done, girls. So moving forward, so he's like, y'all make sure y'all ready, because we leaving out 3 o'clock in the morning. So boom, June 2nd, close to, which would be June 3rd midnight, me and my cousin, we finally done ripping and running and getting our stuff tight, getting ourselves ready, you know. And so we shoot back to the phone where I live in Fort Worth. And we got all our stuff packed. Everything's in the car. So at this point, about 11 something, we sitting outside. Get a phone call from the boy. And it was like, where y'all at? And I'm like, I'm at the house. We sitting outside, you know. And then he was like, all right, I'll be there in a minute. So he pulls up, y'all. Probably about 20 minutes later, he pulled up. And he's like, what y'all got going? And I'm just like, what you mean? What you mean what we got going? Cause why you asking it? And I'm like, what you mean? Like, sure, we ready to go. Sure, y'all ready yet? Y'all got y'all stuff packed? Cause if y'all is, we can go and pull out now. We don't even need to wait till 3. And he was like, no, I didn't say that. What you talking about? I didn't say we was gonna leave at 3 o'clock in the morning. I just looked at my cousin, and I'm just like, what he mean? What he talking about? He was like, nah, I said we were gonna leave at 3 o'clock Thursday afternoon, or in the afternoon. I'm just like, what? So, you know, at this point, it's like, and we just like, whatever, you know, because you clearly made us understand this early up in the day, because you said 3 o'clock in the morning. You always want to leave at night. The whole thing was to drive at night. So I'm like, you know what, whatever. I'm just gonna go to my cousin's house and stay the night. And he's like, oh, you gonna go over your cousin's house? You gonna go all the way back to Dallas? Why you just gonna stay at the house? And I'm like, why does it even matter? We ain't leaving anyway. So I can go to my cousin's house and shit. You don't change. I ain't go to the next day anyway. You don't ruin it for the night. So, you know, I'm going over there. Because I might need her to touch me up in the morning. And he like, oh, you always on that bullshit. And never wanted me to go nowhere. I was wanting me to be at home, y'all. But whatever the reason was, he always wanted me to be at home. Even when he wasn't there, he still wanted me to be there. Or he'll come there and he'll act a fool because I'm not at home. So, moving on, y'all. Thursday come, sun up, hours go by. He called right at 12 o'clock. It's like, hey, make sure y'all ready, because we pulling out at 3 o'clock. Sure. I'm like, all right, cool. In the back of my mind, I'm just like thinking, you know, something's not gonna go right. I had already had the hunch in my mind. But when he called, it was like, okay, maybe he still, maybe he ain't. So about 2 something, okay, my cousin, we take off back to Fort Worth. And we get out there, we wait. He already in Fort Worth. We done came from Dallas. So while we pull up and he's still in here. So we sitting and we chilling, waiting on the boys. So about 3:15 or so, I get a phone call. And I'm hello. And he was like, hey, so I got good news and then I got bad news. Which one you want to hear first? And I'm just sitting on the phone quiet. I'm just like, it don't even matter. Just say what you got to say. And he's like, oh, well, we ain't going to be able to shoot out today. Because me and my partner, we got to go meet our publicist. That's how I looked at the phone. And I'm just like, publicist? And I'm just like, oh, so you had to go meet him today. Just like, how convenient. I ain't never heard nothing about you saying nothing about no publicist until this very moment. Mind you, prior to us planning the trip, he came up with this bright idea about promoting the making of him, his music. And him came up with this flyer idea that they was going to promote out in Atlanta with these flyers. So, well, I knew that the flyer idea was a cover up for whatever he got going on the other side. So then it came the publicist thing, and he was just like, he couldn't go. And then, you know, I'm just sitting on the phone. At this point, I'm mad. Because it's like, why are you wasting my time for the last few days with this? And this was your idea. So I was like, he was like, but we can leave tomorrow though. We probably can't go to Atlanta, but we probably can go like to Houston or something. And it was just like, Houston? Don't nobody want to go no damn Houston. We don't plan a trip to go out of town. What you mean? And then I'm like, all right, Major. Well, I said, you good luck with that. And I hung up the phone. And then I just looked over to my cousin. I'm just like, man, this messed up. I said, you ain't even got to say it. Because I see the look on her face, y'all. She mad. She real mad. And I was like, damn. I said, what we gonna do? We already don't spend money on this trip. So what now? And, you know, I was like, it's like a light bulb hit me. And I'm like, cuz, you wanna do something wild? And she like, what? I was like, I think we should go to the beach. Like, we think we should go to the beach. And she was like, girl, you ain't talking about nothing. I said, yeah, I think we should go to Miami right now. She said, girl, I ain't trying to hear what you talking about. Girl, I ain't trying to hear what you talking about. And I was like, I'm serious. I said, because at this point, we've been sitting here ready to go out of town. For what, though? So, put my shit in drive, and I pulled off. And I left him and his partner in Texas. He went to calling me. I wouldn't even answer the phone. Because why you calling me? You're supposed to have been in the car. If you want to talk to me, you should have been in the car. So he texted me and he was like, that's messed up, man. That you not happy for me to meet my publicist and get my music, launch my music. But yet he's still not launched yet, y'all, for him to have publicists. Here it is, August. And that's the first and the last time I heard anything about a publicist before everything blew up. So we left him. We sure did. Left him right here in Texas. So hours went by. Me and my cousin, we driving. She driving. We driving to Miami. I'm sorry. And he steady calling. So about probably 3-4 hours later, I finally decided to answer the phone. Or maybe answer or text him back or something. I think I texted him and was like, good luck with that. your publicist thing. I'm happy for you," or something I said to that nature. And I was like, "But I'm on my way to Miami." And he texted me back question mark emojis. And then he went to calling. So I finally answered the phone. And I was like, "What? I'm driving. We're driving." He's like, "Man, what you mean you going to Atlanta?" I mean, why do I keep saying Atlanta? Sorry, Miami. I'm like, "Yeah, because you had us get ready for what? And we was ready to go. So we left you." And he kept complaining about it. So eventually I just hung up the phone. And so we went back to being crunk, turned up, you know. I ain't gonna lie, y'all, I was kind of nervous at first because I was thinking in my mind, what's gonna happen to me when I get back to Texas after this trip? Cause y'all know he violent. Yeah. But I ain't care. I kept on going. So when it got about 7 or 8 o'clock, I guess when the sun went down, we had made a gas stop. And I was talking to him, he called me. And I talked to him. Somehow, I don't know how in that conversation, y'all, but somehow in that conversation, it led to him getting plane tickets to Miami. Yeah, I know. You flew him and his partner. You purchased them tickets. Yeah. Me? Yeah, I did it. Somehow he sweet talked and manipulated me into it. But that's what he always did. He was a manipulator. Sweet on his words. Or I'll have a way of making you feel guilty for something you should have did. Next thing I know, y'all, I was $700 in the hole. Tickets bought. And once those tickets got bought, y'all, that's when that trip went to hell. $16 in the car, me and my cousin drove. We had fun though, with the two of us. So they wasn't scheduled to be there until the next day, which was June 5th, I believe. I think it was June 5th. June 5th that night, because they plane left there about 5 or something, and they got delayed, so they ended up getting to Miami around 11. So we went and picked them up from the airport. So once we picked them up from the airport, that's when all the shit started. So we picked him up from the airport. He get in, him and his partner. Seemed cool. You know, he's shooting his little slugs about us leaving him. So we get back to the room where I had purchased the room at in South Beach. We dropped their stuff off. So the first night, it was alright, because we didn't really do a whole lot because it was already late. So we just rode around, took pictures of the view, and seen the scenery and peeped out things. We was out about 2 hours. And they got what they needed to enjoy themselves, you know. And we went back to the room. And that was pretty much the wrap on that night. But then the next day came. We had checked out the room by the South Beach because that room was high. That room was so high. So we checked out of there and we went and we had found another room that was kind of cheaper. And so when we checked into the room, we chilled for a while. Then after we chilled, watched movies or whatever, everybody was ready to start moving around. So we ended up finding a little shopping mall or whatever, a shopping center rather. And we had went to Ross, and I think it was Rainbows, you know, trying to get our swim gear together, beach clothes. And so we ended up doing all of that and going back to the room and showering and getting, you know, ourselves together and stuff like that. Before we had left the room, it was kind of tension. We wasn't really talking too much. And so, yeah. So we left the room. We ended up going to Dania Beach. I think that's how you say it, y'all. We just passed through there. We didn't really stay there. Okay, guys, I'm back. Dania Beach. So we just visit Dania Beach. We didn't really hang out there because the goal was to really go to South Beach. I was talked about South Beach the whole ride. I wanted to go to South Beach, South Beach, South Beach. You know, you hear about South Beach on TV, so it's like, oh, okay, let's go see South Beach. Period. And so we ended up going to South Beach, and I guess we probably pulled up on South Beach. It was probably 6:30, probably pushing 7 o'clock. At this point, it was getting dark out there, and yeah. So we got to South Beach. We was still kind of excited about being on the beach. We got there. You know, we walked on the sand in the beach and got in the water, put our feet in the water and stuff. You know, I did my Halle Berry dance, but cause I thought I was it, baby. Couldn't tell me nothing on that beach. And you know, I had my bottle, and so finally, after we messed around on the beach and stuff and took pictures and stuff like that, we ended up walking and we ended up on the strip of South Beach. Remember when I told y'all earlier in the video that he had wanted to promote? That was his excuse he used to be out of town with me, because he probably whatever he done told this girl. He probably told this girl that I was his business associate. I'm starting to think. The whole time she didn't know I was really his girlfriend. But so yeah, we on the strip. And so he had his flyers. They all getting their flyers. He come to me, he asked me, do I want to pass out some of his flyers? Get people to scan his barcode on the flyers. And I'm like, no. No. Why? I don't want no parts of that, because that's BS to me. You know, you want to be out here and you cried and stuff and you complain because you wanted to be on vacation with me. it wasn't about promoting. So no, I don't particularly want to do nothing that has nothing to do with that, because me and you both know that's bull. So I said, forget your music. But I didn't mean it like that. But he took it that way. All he hears me saying, forget your music. So that had kind of already triggered him to being upset, prior to the fact that I didn't want to pass out his flyers. So me and him was not on the best of terms at that point. Because we already felt like, well, mostly me, I already felt like, because it was tension, that he was still feeling salty about me leaving him in Texas to begin with. So I felt like it was one of those things where it was like, the smallest little thing is going to trigger him and it's going to make him mad anyway. And that did it. So, we stayed on the trail for a while. Mind you, I ain't never passed out nothing. Wasn't gonna pass out nothing. I ain't gonna pass out nothing. So, so after a while, the boy disappears. Nobody knows where he was. Homeboy got mad, got irritated. So I don't know what they got into it about. I look up the homeboy leaving the strip. He walking fast back towards the carway. Then I dripped off, because at this point I don't need to be with y'all, because I ain't passing out nothing. So I'm looking at the little show performance, you know, not by them. But I see him. Well, my cousin and his partner, because like I said, the boy had drifted off. Ain't no telling where he had went or what he was doing. Somebody seen him for about a good 20 minutes, maybe 25. They were just looking for him, especially his twin. So finally, he seen me, and he come pull me by my shirt, and was like, why you ain't with the crowd? I'm like, you wasn't with the crowd either. So what you mean? Where you been? You know? So that's where it started. I said, what's up with your partner? Because he gone back to the car. I seen him like, you know, man, forget that nigga. He tripping. I don't know what's up with him. He tripping. I'm going to the car. I ain't got time for it. This all you hear his partner saying. I heard him saying it. So, next thing I know, he's like, man, just go to the car. So I walk ahead of him on my cousin. Because at this point, I'm mad. Again. But I already knew. So, fast forwarding, we get to the car. By the time we get to the car, it started raining. It started raining right on the beach. So we get in the car. Mind you, he's still, you know, he kind of amped up about the flyers, but then he ain't amped up. Because then when it got to me, he was like, but somebody said forget my music. Thought she couldn't pass out not even one flyer. So he was irritated. I'm sitting over here in the passenger seat. Next thing I know, my phone go, ching. However the messenger sound go. I look up, I open up my phone. It's a girl who texts me. And he's sitting over here in the driver's seat. So he like looking at my phone, snatch it out my hand, look at it. Oh, you cheating on me with him. Next thing I know, pow! Next thing I know, on the beach. On the beach, y'all. On the beach. Then he went on to say, You couldn't even pass out not even one flight for me. But you over here on the phone having conversations with some bitch. You texting some. You couldn't, couldn't even pass out a flight for me. Next thing I know, bang, bang, bang. At this point, I'm like, I can't take it no more. I can't take it no more. We on the beach, bro. So I'm in the car. Bang, bang, bang. I'm getting with him. But it wasn't good enough because I ain't strong enough for him. I tried to jump out the car. I jumped out the car. He chased behind me. He pulled me by my lace. Y'all, my lace had got to be on it. Got to be, girls. You know how hard you had to have pulled me by my hair for my got to be to come off. That's how mad he was. He pulled me by my hair and slung me on the ground. Slung me on the ground. Fighting me on the beach. His partner so embarrassed. He walk off and go to the bar somewhere. My cousin had been got out the car already. Because when we was arguing, she don't like it. Because she's supposed to be his twin and she my cousin. So that puts her in the middle of it. So she had left. He outside on the beach. This is supposed to be an exciting adventure for me, y'all. After I spent my money for him and his partner to come out here and have a good time with us, even though I had already left you. You get out there on the beach and you dog me behind a female and me not wanting to pass out a flyer. That was so embarrassing, guys. That was the most humiliating day of my entire life. Because we in Florida. You come all the way from Texas to have a good time. And then you turn around on good faith on somebody who don't even deserve to be out here with you and fly him and his friend to the state, the beach, so that he can treat you like the gum on the bottom of my shoe. Who does that, man? After everything that I put up with already. After everything I have put up with already. This how you treat me. It ain't fair, man. It wasn't fair. Then on the way home, back to the room, after all the BS said, he just talked about me the whole way there. About how I was texting her, how I wouldn't. I was all type of B's, H's, and everything. Yeah, I know. I should have left his ass right. Right there, huh? Yeah, I know. But we still in Miami. So we get back to the room. Finally. And everybody just quiet. Nobody really had nothing to say. He was like, come take a shower with me. I didn't have nothing to say. I just did it. Because at this point, if you did this to me on the beach, I don't know what else you're capable of at this point. You did this with absolutely no remorse. It was just... Yeah, I'm telling it, but I'm reliving it. In every step, every word that I tell y'all, I'm reliving it. It was a painful day. It's a painful memory. The one I can't. It's a memory that I'll never be able to take away. It's something I'll never be able to forget. People like, leave it alone, it's old news. No, it's not old. It's not old, man. It's not old to me. Because why he decided to go on and do what he did, go off and marry after he don't put me in a situation, in a lifestyle to accept him. He ended up doing something else for his own benefit. He begged me not to leave. Cried many a nights. He loved me. No, you didn't. You don't even love the one you married to. How you love her? When you was cheating on her with me, lollipops, whatever you was doing. You was doing it. You don't even love yourself, man. I told you this all the time. You don't know what love is. Because if you did, you would have never did those things to me. Because why? Why? You had the ideal woman that accepted you for you, that rocked with you for you. I don't even know what to say, y'all, because the more I talk, the more I feel like I want to get emotional. So, I think I'm going to end it right here for today. Stay tuned. The Atlanta trip, plus the reasons why I don't like the wife. And I have a special video coming next. Y'all stay tuned. like, comment, subscribe. Alright, I'm out, y'all.